Hello and welcome to this YouTube channel. You might be aware API and automation is the new buzz all over the networking industry. Well, probably that could partly be the reason why you are here. Our cloud NMS offering Aruba Central has a wide range of API for automating multiple functions. My name is Jay Pathak, and in this video I will give you an introduction and insight into the Aruba Central API suite. Aruba Central has a rich set of API for network automation and extensibility. In this video, I will talk about how to get started with Central API, different types of API available, various endpoints and their documentation, as well as managing access through API tokens. Following that, I will show you how you can start using these APIs with examples. And finally, I will share some resources that will help you in your automation journey with Central. So let's dive right into it and get started. Central has API available to automate various use cases and workflows such as device deployment for managing device inventory, subscriptions, and deployment with a basic set of configuration. Site management for combining various devices at a physical location for better management. Configuration management for managing day-end device configurations, validations, and incremental updates. User management for managing user access and privileges as well as SSO configurations. Monitoring networks for obtaining meaningful data from the network or any alerts if something goes wrong. And lastly, third-party applications for achieving extensibility by integrating third-party apps. For example, creating a dashboard using API to poll or subscribe to Central's data. There are three types of API available on Central, namely REST API. It is the most widely used API, which is of a request-reply style interface where HTTP requests are used to get, update, post, and delete data to the system. Streaming API. It is a publish-subscribe model where subscribers subscribe to the data published by Central. It provides real-time data to the clients. However, it only provides readable information and nothing can be configured back. Webhooks. In this type, the real-time data is sent to the user as part of a notification caused by an alert or a trigger. These type of alerts can be pre-hand configured on Central. For example, you can configure an alert for AP disconnect. Once the AP disconnects, it sends an alert out to the webhook that you have already configured. For the sake of this video, I'll only be explaining the REST API part. Central provides multiple services or applications for your network. These services include, but are not limited to, managing users, managing device subscriptions, etc. And one such application is the API Gateway. The API Gateway application is used to manage everything related to API on Central. Imagine it as a gatekeeper that deals with all aspects of documentation, security, and access of API. Let's see this live on Aruba Central's web-based user interface. As soon as you log in to Central's web portal, step 1 is to go to the account home. Here, you will find various services or applications provided by Central. Step 2 is to go to the API Gateway. It is as simple as that. Once you are on the API Gateway, you get 4 options. Number 1, APIs. On clicking the link provided here, you can access the API documentation. You can find all the details related to endpoints, request parameters, response values, codes, etc. API endpoints are grouped into containers which can be accessed from this drop-down. All monitoring related APIs are present in the monitoring container. All configuration related API are present in the configuration container. User related API in the user management container, and so on. To access or test these API endpoints using the tryout option, one needs to have a valid access token generated by Central. Before seeing how to obtain an access token to access the API endpoints, let us first see how to create an API token/client. For added security, all communication happens over HTTPS and the authentication and authorization is done using the newer OAuth 2 standard. This standard is useful to anonymize Central's user credentials and still have a secure way of communication through the API's client ID and secret. To see a detailed explanation on how the OAuth 2 works, please check out the video by Joe Neville. Link is in the description box below. There are a few important things to note to avoid any confusion. Number 1. API token/client. This is an API client associated to a user consisting of some meta information. Number 2. Access token. It is used to access the API for limited time. It is also known as the bearer token, which means that the bearer of this token is granted access for using the API. Therefore, this token has to be handled and stored securely. Anybody with the access token can actually use the API. Refresh token. Since the access token has a limited validity, once it expires, the refresh token is used to refresh the token and create a new access token. There are two ways to create this API token/client. Using the offline method that is done through the GUI, it is best used for getting started, initial testing, or quickly checking for an API response. Or using the OAuth grant method. It is used by developers who develop automated scripts and workflows. Let us see how to utilize the offline method through the web UI. You can either use My Apps and Tokens or the System Apps and Tokens tab. My Apps and Tokens is used to create an API token mapped to your central username. Or you can use the System Apps and Tokens to create an API token for any end user in your user list or any application. For example, you would like to create a token which says my Python code or a Python script. Once your token is created, you can view it in the token list. You can also download the token to view the contents of that token. As you see, the contents of the token include an access token, which will grant you access to use any API. You also have a refresh token, which will refresh the access token in case it expires in 7200 seconds or 2 hours. Also, the token type is a bearer token as mentioned earlier. Let's see how to get started using API. In order for us to do that, let's select this access token and use it along with the Swagger API documentation's tryout feature that we saw earlier. Use the access token in the token bar and then put all the required parameters, and then just once you hit try, it gives you a response saying what all groups are available and the response code along with some response headers. This is how you can try and validate the responses for various different API endpoints. The other way to create an API token is using the OAuth grant method. You can visit the documentation center found under the Aruba Central support icon. Here you can simply type OAuth grant method and then press search. This will take you to a step-by-step guide describing how to obtain token using this method. Also, this is specifically important when you're trying to implement this in your script to automate the token creation workflow. Now that we know how to create tokens and obtain the access token, let us see how to track the API usage. You need to go to the API gateway page and from there go to the usage tab. Here you will find two tables depicting the total usage on APIs as well as a per user usage. You can also use Postman to test any API on Central. In order to do so, you need to have some prerequisite information for an API endpoint. You would need the gateway address. This is based on your cluster, so each cluster will have a different address. API address. This is the endpoint address used by Central to understand what the user is requesting. Parameters. These are the query parameters that go along with the request. Imagine these as filters for the request. All these add up to build the final URL to which a user requests or sends information. And of course, an access token for authorization. Let us now see an example to fetch the groups on Central. I can make out the gateway address looking at the documentation link as displayed on the screen. Next step is to actually go to the documentation page and find our respective API endpoint in question. Then get the API address, parameters, along with the gateway address. This will constitute the API URL. The next thing we would need is the token. So if I go to my tokens and download the token, I need to copy my access token, which will grant me the access to use any API. Let's go to Postman and see how all this translates in order to fetch the data. If you are familiar with Postman, this is where we enter the URL. Now we know that we are trying to fetch the data, so our method is get, and then I have put the base URL or the gateway address. Along with that, I will add the API address. And then next step is to add the parameters. So once I add the parameters, all this constitute as my API URL. The last step is to authorize yourself. In order to do so, I put my bearer token. And once I enter all of this information, I can simply run this query. And as you can see, we received a 200 OK response. That means that the query was all right. And then let's see how Central has responded. So we got a key value pair dictionary, which has data as the key, and in the values we have all the groups that are listed. This is confined to the response values or the response type as described on the API documentation. Well, this brings us to the end of this video. Today we learned the different types of API on Central, how to get started with the API gateway, how to access APIs and create the API tokens, the documentation center full of useful information, and lastly, we also saw how to make API calls using the Swagger API documentation as well as Postman. You can find more resources and comprehensive guides on the Aruba Developer Hub as well. For all you Airheads out there, we have a developer community on Airheads to answer all your queries about API and automation of Aruba products. Feel free to check it out. Link is in the description box below. Thank you for watching the video. Stay safe and happy automating.